answer that question, but you do bring up, it gets me back to something you asked me, because you had the impression, and I've already said I'm against this bill. He brought up about Boston, so it gets me back to some way you maybe could have interpreted. 2 weekends ago, there was a lot of press that I was involved in that suggested that I was bringing up Boston because I wanted to kill this bill. I wasn't bringing up Boston because I want to kill the bill. I brought up Boston because when you deal with immigration, if you're going to pass an immigration bill once every 25 years, and border security coming in and out of the country is the very basis of sovereignty, and it's the very basis of whether or not this legislation will work or any legislation will work. You got one time in a quarter of a century to deal with it. So I was saying, you know, we need to deal with it. Then that gets me back to what you said about student visas, and I'm not saying this because you could be on a student visa too, you know. But anyway, we have a situation in this bill where there's about 2 sentences, and this deals with the unskilled workers. It either deals with unskilled workers or the agricultural workers, but the principle's the same. I want to hire somebody from some other country. So I make an arrangement with somebody in that country, and he comes in and he's got to report to me. After he reports to me, he can go any place else he wants to go. But the point is that there's 2 sentences in this bill say we're going to follow that person the same way that we follow student on their visa. Well, that isn't working very well. So if we've gone to work for the unskilled workers, we've got to make sure that the student visa thing is working well.
But weren't both of the bombers, one of them was a legal resident and the other one was a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
So the student visa issue doesn't apply to them because they went through the legal process.
For one of them, it does. For the latter,
But the older one, it still wouldn't apply to him.
no, we're talking about the 3 that were arrested yesterday.
You're talking about the 3, okay.
One of them,
those aren't the bombers though.
no, they aren't. One of them left. He didn't attend class in Massachusetts University, so he lost his student visa. He went back home, and he was able to come back into the United States. So it gets back to this exit-entry situation. We've got to have a good exit-entry system.
And do you believe that this bill wouldn't this bill solve that, or would it just make the situation?
Yeah, they're attempting to solve it with a biometric exit-entry system. If that can be put in place, that'll probably, for the most part, do the job. But at least as of now, before that's in, and that it's going to take a few years to get that set up and working, you know, then you're going to have to make sure that the student visa thing, the way it's set up now, is doing a better job than it's doing now. Okay.